And then he showed us what the lightsaber training is going to look like. And I'll be honest, I'm underwhelmed. I saw it and was like, oh. Hey everybody, welcome to the Dano channel. I am Dano, and there's more Galactic Starcruiser news that has just come out. Last week we got a bunch of stuff from bloggers like IGN, Nerdist. Ashley Eckstein herself went there and got to try out the Galactic Starcruiser. So we got news from that. Yesterday during the D23 panel, there was a little bit more stuff that came out. There was some part of the panel, some other stuff from Josh D'Amaro earlier in the morning. But, of course, it's a Galactic Starcruiser video. So I've invited my good friend Sarah J. Mack back onto the channel. Good to see you. Welcome back.
Hello, friend.
Hi. It's cool. We have every time we do the Starcruiser thing, I'm going to try and bring you back on because you're our travel agent, Galactic Starcruiser expert. So glad to have you back on here. We're gonna go over all of this stuff. All of this stuff. Now, the big reveals, I think, the first biggest stuff we got last week was the characters. We learned quite a bit about those characters, more than we knew going into it before. So, the first one I want to talk about is the Captain. Captain Riola Curvin. Am I saying that right? Riola Curvin. Kevin. Oh, look, there's a... I knew this was going to happen.
We didn't test that one.
There it is. Woo. Hey there. So this is the Captain. I'm gonna kind of bring her. You know what? Let's zoom in on that face.
Just go in.
Face on only a mother could love. Right there. There you go.
Oh.
kind of. No, it's.
Dude, that jacket though. Look at that jacket. Look at that high-low. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. She commands respect. She commands respect. So this is Riola Kevin, is what we said. And they kind of hinted during the panel that she used to work with Leia in some capacity.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like.
And that she uses, or has used, the Halcyon, the ship, as they said, as a rum runner ship. So, kind of doing little mini missions on behalf of the Resistance and helping the Resistance out. So it's kind of interesting to know that the captain of the ship already has an alliance, but isn't so upfront about it.
Right.
I think they said during the panel, on her face, she's Switzerland, but kind of behind the scenes, she's doing these little things to help the Resistance. So I think that's really, really cool. And they mentioned that her loyalty to the Resistance will likely be tested. I wonder what that means. I wonder what they... Yeah. What kind of position are they going to put her in to where she might have to sell out the Resistance? I mean, we know that's going to be a part of it, First Order and Resistance, and us travelers, we get to pick our side, or just be scoundrels, smuggler, It's going to be interesting.
But that's who you sit at the captain's table with.
That's
Captain Kevin.
You sit at the table with the captain. Man, I wish we got captain's table.
I know.
I'm going to have to go back again. So, one thing, speaking of playing, I think I am going to end up maybe going back in a year. Because I want to play both sides. I want to play both sides hard. I know. I'm always Resistance, Rebellion. But I kind of want to play both sides.
You want the full experience, right?
I do. Yeah, I want to see more. But speaking of both sides, we've got this guy who's this First Order analyst, Lieutenant Harmon Croy. Now this guy, let me pull him up real quick. There's going to be another one of those ones.
I don't think there's any both sides about him, though.
Oh, him? Oh, no. But I'm saying, speaking of me playing both sides. Him,
gotcha.
He is only a bad dude. You can look at that look on his face. That's
only a face a mother could love.
That's the right one. So what they mentioned is he was like an analyst, like a First Order analyst,
right?
And he started to notice that wherever the Halcyon was just ported and took off from, little pockets of the Resistance would rise up. So kind of after. He's just wait a minute, putting things together. Hey, every time the cruiser leaves, what's going on? What are they doing? So the First Order sends him on to the Halcyon, and we're gonna... Yeah, right? What do you say? They called it a paid vacation or something like that? And so he's going to be interviewing and interrogating anyone and everyone he can to figure out why this ship is leaving pockets of Resistance everywhere. So that's cool. Now I'm guessing he's gonna have some stormtroopers with him. They didn't really say, but how could you not? How could you not have stormtroopers?
He has to, right?
It's in the concept art, right? So it's got to be on there. All right. Next, we've got a droid. Now this is the droid featured in the. There you go, little. That'll work. I'll cover me. This is the. Now, this is the droid featured in the artwork for all of it, for like the main poster for Galactic Starcruiser. Yep. This is the guy. This is the main droid, and he is partnered up with the cruise director. Let me see if I can pull up Linktr.ee, I believe. There, we'll cover you with Linktr.ee, and then we'll get our droid here. SK620 or 620.
Not to scale.
Not to scale at all. No. But they said he's possibly holding secrets for the Resistance. Yeah. So again, we've got more and more like Resistance stuff. And Linktr.ee, the cruise director, who I guess will do anything she can to protect her little droid friend. So again, she's going to end up leaning more towards the Resistance as well. Kind of interesting. Hopefully. I wonder if we can change that as like, are we able to influence that much of the story?
That's a good point. Like, how much of this are we going to influence? Like, are we going to be able to change the final outcome of this whole story?
I don't know. That's a good point, because we know there's a big finale. And speaking of what they showed us this weekend, we did see the lightsaber again. Josh tomorrow had the lightsaber out, the fancy one that comes up and looks real. Did you? Just speaking of which, is a side tangent here. Did you notice he didn't make it go down?
Yes, and he was very much like, "Where's Bobby?
Yeah,
here you go."
That's the first thing I pointed out when I saw it was like, oh no, he didn't retract it at all.
Yeah.
So that's
I'm curious. Right, and I think that's going to help us like kind of draw conclusions about how it's actually going to be used. I think it's going to be very much like a finale.
Yes, we're going to see Rey. Rey comes by to fight Kylo, because we know Kylo's in the poster. So no spoilers there, it's in the poster. And she extends it, everybody oohs and ahs. Maybe there's a switcheroo and they get lights cut. They switch to a battle lightsaber, they actually fight with it. And then another switcheroo, sparks or something to distract us. Switcheroo again into a lightsaber that's down. It's got to be something kind of like that.
But let me say this about the lightsaber. The fact that even exists in a way that we can see it in person, it's incredible. Cool. We've waited so long to see something like this, and it's here, and it exists. And eventually we're going to get to a point. Exactly. Eventually we're going to get to a point where we can buy those things and we can fight with them and we can do these things. We're not there yet. But how cool is it that we're where we are?
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. It is pretty sweet.
Like, we're just impatient. We want it to be super cool, and we want to like do our lightsaber training with it.
Yeah. So, what's interesting though? Kylo Ren is on the poster. Rey is not. But when they showed the lightsaber, they say you'll be seeing this on the Galactic Starcruiser. So they haven't confirmed Rey necessarily, but she's been the one to show off the lightsaber, and they say it's time. Just something weird that it kind of makes me think, why are they distancing Rey from it? I don't know.
Are we gonna get more Reylo backstory on the Starcruiser?
Maybe. All right. Well, I'm gonna get into the next character.
Okay,
that's true. The next character we got is Sammy. I like his gray hair on the side. Same, brother. Same.
No, it's not. It's not gray hair. Look at it. It's like a little cybernetic. Zoom that guy in.
Oh, it is. Yeah. Look at that. I thought he was cool like me. I guess I'm the only one.
We thought he was one of us. He's not one of us, Dano.
So he's a quote unquote mechanic on the Chandrila Star Line. Now it's interesting because he's not really a mechanic, right? What they hinted at is he's kind of stowing away, sneaking. He's trying to get to the Resistance base on Batuu. And so he's pretending to be a mechanic, which is why they're saying he's nervous. So when you meet him, he might be like, hey, like, are you Resistance? Or whatever. So that's kind of cool. We have yet another Resistance character.
And you can buy that little outfit he's got in a kid-size version.
In kid-size version. They always make everything cool in the kid-size, never for adults. I was just saying that when I was at Galaxy's Edge this weekend. Went around looking at all the merch and all the shirts and All the
It's
coolest
true.
shirts are for kids. Everything cool is for kids. Nothing good for adults. They have some stuff that's like good, but I don't know, the
we have
cooler
Olga's
stuff is always tricky.
Cantina, right?
That's true. But kids can go there too. Non-alcoholic drinks.
Yeah.
So they can also have that same fun. But so this is Sammy. And I mean, that's really it. He's another Resistance character coming through.
All right, so this is D309. She is going to be acting as your personal assistant while you are aboard the Halcyon. So she will be able to tell you your itinerary, what's going on around the ship. I believe she's going to be accessible in your cabin even, and in screens around the ship as well.
That's cool.
They did say, I think that she is very, very helpful, acts like a personal assistant, or maybe it's a he, I don't remember, but that their memory banks have not been wiped and they've been around for a very long time. So there is going to be information to be gathered from this droid.
Interesting. That is cool. So you could probably just sit there and through your screen in your room, talk the night away with this droid. And
if
just
you
ask
want
it,
to.
and probably ask it all kinds of questions and be like, hey, what's this? Can you tell me about this? And I bet it has its own like Wikipedia database built in, like ready to go.
We're going to have to ask about Hondo and Lando and what happened to them on the ship.
Yes. Because we won't have the comic by then, probably.
We won't have anything.
We're
kind of going into this blind.
We'll have two issues of the comic. And that's about it. But I'm sure that info is on there. So yeah, we're going to have to ask.
Yeah.
Now, one of the big fancy characters that they've given us a lot of info, not a lot of info, but they've kind of made it to be that she's going to be a big deal, is Gaia. Yes. Now, Gaia is the entertainment on, I think, both nights, or at least night one, for sure. She's a Twi'lek from Ryloth,
yep.
And she will do whatever it takes to keep her planet free. And I guess they were saying that her songs on the first night, she sings about, like, power, and, like, kind of hints at what she needs, and she may recruit you to get coaxium for her to be smuggled back to her planet.
Yep.
And that's pretty cool because that's what you get on Smuggler's Run. So she's going to be the big tie-in to Smuggler's Run and why Smuggler's Run is important.
You will be intercepting a first-order train shipment of coaxium.
Now, what made me, I kind of wondered, is like, has it been this from the beginning? You know, like, did they just cleverly be like, how do we tie in Smuggler's Run? I don't know, make sure someone needs coaxium. Or was this all developed like early on, and they were like, just wait until until we release the Starcruiser, then they're gonna know why the coaxium's there, because Hondo is being hired to get it.
Yeah,
but he doesn't say who, so that option has always been there. So it's kind of
which came
cool.
First?
Yeah, well, yeah, I think, or were they at the same time? Was it one of those things?
That's exciting to think.
It is cool
because they've mentioned that there's like Easter eggs.
Yeah, they said like one of the job posting boards was for a mechanic needed for the Halcyon Starcruiser, which is Sammy. So all those, like, that was an Easter egg that's been there for 2 years now. And it's not like a blatantly, like, I mean, it is though. It is blatantly tied in because they were looking for a mechanic and they just hired one. So
well, and apparently there's a commercial too in the marketplace
to
book a voyage on Starcruiser. Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. That is cool. See, that's one thing that I feel hasn't been covered much on Galaxy's Edge, as someone who covers Galaxy's Edge stuff, is in the marketplace, that radio that plays. You can also hear it in the refreshers. Unlike the other side, at least I've heard it where the blue milk stand is. The bathroom's over there. But it's different from Oga's. There's different music. There's different, like, chatter going on. Sometimes it's alien chatter, but there's humans chattering. And, like, that ad for the Starcruiser. There's got to be more stuff in that. And it's awkward to, like, try and record it, because in the marketplace it's loud. So you can't really record it. The place you can hear it best is in the bathroom, but, like, nobody wants to be recording audio in a bathroom. So
I think there's rules against that, maybe.
Yeah. Don't nobody do that. That's a good reason that it hasn't been covered yet.
Sit and listen.
But it's just interesting that's all there, and not really documented or broken down yet by any of the bloggers or YouTubers or whatever. So kind of
we didn't know to listen to it.
Yeah. That is true. All right, so we know why we're doing the coaxium. I'm guessing Sammy's going to have a little something to do with Rise of Resistance.
Remember, it is vital that you keep the location of the Bakara base secret. Lieutenant Beck, one of our top commanders, will lead you.
because he's trying to get to the Resistance base.
Ooh.
That is where it takes place. So that's kind of
That's
the
true.
characters. Now, they did mention the characters will talk to us through the Datapad app. And I think
Yes.
that's cool. I like the Datapad app. I'm not, like, it's not great, but I still like it.
It's fun,
So,
though. It's super
it is
fun.
So during the panel, you guys can see here a little bit, they showed what an updated version of the Datapad app looks like. You can see on the bottom there's some different tabs. I think one says comms. It's very hard to see because they didn't put it full screen
No.
during the presentation. But on the right, you can see Lieutenant Croy, and he's asking about someone, and it looks to be Chewbacca. And there's like multiple choice answers you can give at the bottom there. So there are... Oh, you're right. The itinerary is on there too on the left side. Day one. There's other stuff there too. So either way, it's interesting. We're getting an update. I wonder, does that update go to everybody? You know, like if you have the Disney Play app, why would they make one specific for non-Starcruiser goers? I think everybody gets the update, but those tabs are only usable if
Right.
you're... So kind of a way to like remind people, like, hey, you should go on the Starcruiser if you want to ever.
And
see
I
what these tabs
wonder
do.
if your messages will stay after your voyage. Like if you could go back and
Oh,
refer to it and be
yeah.
like, ah, man, I should have answered this way, or see
Yeah.
your itinerary even.
I'm gonna have to try and be really good about screen capturing whenever I use it, just because what if we can't? What if we can't go back and watch any of that? So I will try to remember. I'm gonna have so much stuff that I'm gonna need to do. I'm sure I'm gonna have droids and everything.
Pull you
just
out
be
of the sublight lounge. Be like, hey, man, it's time to go to
oh
bed
no,
too.
yeah, there's that too. Yeah, I'm not gonna film
Don't
anything.
make promises you can't keep.
So after they talked about the main characters, they talked a little bit about the backstory, about the history of the Chandrila Starline, and they showed this character that looks really funny. I couldn't quite make out the right spelling of his name, but I think they called him Shug Tabor. I know they said Shug.
Yeah.
His first name is definitely Shug. And he's just like Babu Frick. He's the
Yeah.
same species as Babu Frick. I love that. This little guy looks adorable.
Oh my
And
god,
he's
his
got
outfit.
his outfit looks so cool. I
He's
really,
got like little
really, really
fingerless
like that.
gloves on.
Yeah, it looks so cool. And so he's the guy. This little guy created the
He's
ship.
the guy. Yeah.
He is the guy. He was like a Corellian ship maker on the Corellian shipyards. Got transferred to Chandrila, which is where Ben Solo was born. I don't know if I've mentioned that before, but Ben Solo was born on the planet Chandrila. It's also where Mon Mothma is from. So there's history here. It's not just like
Yeah.
they plucked this
Legends
ship out of
are made
nowhere.
there.
Yeah. So on Chandrila, he ends up rebuilding his own ship, making a bunch of new ships, and eventually makes the Halcyon. And it's designed to be a luxury cruiser. His idea was that he wanted to make like a luxury tour through the galaxy. And so that's what we've got now. But between him building it and where we are now, because that took place in the High Republic era. So a lot of stuff's gone down. They said Buryaga Agaburi, the big Wookiee Jedi, he's going to be in it from High Republic. We're going to be getting a story. I think they said January is when the first story of that.
They confirmed January.
Now they did for the
He
comic.
won't be on the Halcyon. He'll
No,
be in
he won't be when we go, but in the stories,
books that are, yeah.
January 2022, the first story releases. We know it's going to be in the comic. Issue 1 has him on the front cover.
Yeah.
But I wonder if there's going to be more in the High Republic books. Because there's also High Republic books coming out in January. I wonder if those also take place on the Halcyon. Because it
Maybe.
said
There's also a kid's book coming out. Did you see that?
with the Halcyon or with High Republic? Or both?
I know it's High Republic, but I
Hmm.
think it's got some Halcyon stuff in it. Or it has Burry at least.
Because the first kids book they made was Buryaga on there, and it was basically a quick Cliff's Notes version of The Light of the Jedi. So you could read the whole full book for adults, young adults, whatever. Or if you get the kids book, it's like a quick 3-minute thumb through with pictures that shows you all the
Nice.
same stuff. So I think this might be a similar deal where it's the children's book, fully illustrated, looks cool, comes with stickers too, which is neat for my desk. But I think it's going to be a similar deal where there'll be like a shortened kids version of the larger story from High Republic.
Why couldn't this come out in December? Why couldn't we get this for the holidays?
I know. But in the High Republic, one of the big things it centers around is the Starlight Beacon. And apparently the Halcyon helped move the Starlight Beacon to a world in need. So there's definitely like history going back that far on the ship, and I'm wondering if do we get Easter eggs around the ship from that, or is it just the comic? But speaking of the comic, they also said a little later, right before Phantom Menace, the ship was being run as like a casino ship by the Hutts.
Yeah,
That's cool. Like, I wonder like what Hutt remnants there are in the ship as well. And Aura Singh and Zam Wesell, the bounty hunters, were there on the ship protecting some, hotshot gambler, which is pretty cool. And speaking of hotshot gamblers, Lando and Hondo at some point pulled a heist. They heisted a bunch of jewels off the ship. So I'm guessing because we're going to get into the jewelry a little later from the main shop. Was it the Jewel of Corellia, or is that the dining? Whatever, we'll figure out the name here in a minute. I forget which one it is, but the shop that's got the clothing, the merch, the jewelry, there's got to be some kind of throwback to this Lando and Hondo heist. Why mention?
It's got to be like the marketplaces where there's all these Easter eggs, right?
Yeah, or like maybe like wanted posters or something that pop up for them. Like if you see these two, watch out. Something like that would be cool.
Yeah.
Next, what did they mention? Oh, also in the prequel area, a little bit later, Padme and Anakin are on the ship to investigate like a senator having some kind of corrupt like conspiracy with the separatists.
Yep.
So that'll be a cool read. And then they briefly just mentioned, they were like, oh, and a very special couple, he just glossed over it so quickly. Like a very famous couple spent their honeymoon on the ship.
Yep.
Wow, that's kind of cool. So you think Han and Leia?
I think it's Han and Leia because he walked through the ship and like, here's what happened during like the prequels. Here's what happened in the OG trilogy, and that's when he mentioned the honeymoon. So
You're
I'm
right.
thinking that it's
The
Han and
original
Leia.
trilogy. That makes sense.
But
So do we
I
see
could be
something from them there also? I don't know. It'd be weird if it was left there from that long ago.
But the thing is, why mention any of this if we're not going to see Easter eggs on the ship?
That's true. That's totally true. And that's what's going to make the experience, is those Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Is knowing all that stuff. Now, the hard part is, because we're going so early, we're going like the second voyage.
Yeah.
The comic books won't all be out by then.
It's going to be
They
like a
typically
year?
release one a month. And I think there's 6 issues, and they start in January.
I think they said into 2023.
He did say there would be a story that's tied to that we'll learn more about in about a year and a half.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's the comic books
don't
or
know.
if that's a separate story.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it'll be a separate story. Because in the Thrawn books, they mentioned Oga's Cantina. And that was years ago. So they do little things like that that tie in. So I think it might be a different book or something that we'll see tie back into the Halcyon later. But yeah, it's so cool how much story and how much like character they're really giving into all of this stuff.
Like, imagine in the cabins, and maybe you're near like one of the Grand Captain suites, you see just like a little heart etched into the wall, right? And it's like an L and an H or something, and you're like, oh, I know what that means. Like
Lando and Hondo. No.
Yeah. Forever.
All right. So at this point, they said eventually the ship comes back into the possession of Shug's family and descendants, and that's when they created Chandrila Starline. So before it was just like a Chandrila shipping company or something like that, and then now it's officially around the original trilogy time, Chandrila Starline, that's where we are now. We're some 40 years past that, and that's when we get to get on. So that's really exciting. Next, I want to get into something not so exciting.
Oh.
So the Saturday morning.
It is exciting, okay?
it is exciting. It was cool. It was, I don't know. I feel iffy about it. But Saturday morning during the D23 panel, not the Galactic Starcruiser panel, but a panel earlier about Disney Park stuff, Josh D'Amaro came out with the lightsaber we know Rey's going to wield. Does the whole thing. And then he showed us what the lightsaber training is going to look like. And I'll be honest, I'm underwhelmed. I saw it and was like, oh, that's it? I don't know what I was thinking they could accomplish. I thought maybe they, I don't know. Just the fact that you can see the lasers all the way through. I know that's how a laser works. So,
right?
But I was hoping for, I don't know, like a light traveling through the air, which I know you can't do yet. but I was
Right.
hoping, more blaster deflection. I don't know. But I'm guessing, and I'm still going to be optimistic on this, I think it's going to be way, way better in person
Yep.
than it is in that video clip that they showed us.
Yeah, I agree. Because I think if you watch the video clip, or if you have the clip up, it starts out really slow, where you're just kind of learning, okay, the laser's going to come here, you hit it, it's going to go there. And then as it progressed, it got faster and faster.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think hopefully this is what happens. Hopefully it kind of like calibrates itself to whoever is doing the training at the moment. So if there's a 7-year-old doing it, it's going to keep with the slow motion.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a guy in the back like turning a knob that's like, oh no, this guy
And then you're
knows
going to have
what
your
he's
friends and
doing.
family with shields too, right? So
Yeah.
they're going to... I wonder how that...
They got to protect themselves from our terrible lightsaber skills.
I just don't understand how those shields come into play, because it wasn't a big area that he was working with.
And there's like circles that you're standing on. So it
That's
almost
right.
seems like you
right.
have, like, if you're wielding the lightsaber, you have one thing that's coming at you, and then they maybe have their own things.
Maybe
that
they
are
have
coming
different ones
towards
that come at them. Yeah.
Maybe?
That-
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. I think there's a lot more to it than what they showed.
I think so too. And it seemed, I don't know. I don't think like they said like the lighting's not all in place yet. Like I think
That's
once
true.
you're in there and you hear the music and like the hums and the whirs of the room, and like you're gonna get really into it and like get into the story of it. I think
Yeah.
just seeing that piece of it on its own maybe doesn't sell it as much. But once you're in that experience and they're like, quick, we need you to do lightsaber training so you can go help us do this. You're like, yeah, let's get into. I think it's gonna be good. I'm still hopeful.
Yeah, and I'm hopeful too, but I definitely was with a lot of the rest of the internet who was disappointed, because when you read the comments and the tweets, they were
Yeah, it's
brutal.
not good.
People were brutal
They
about it.
were.
And so I still hold hope that it'll be way better in person. But the other thing they showed Josh tomorrow doing was the bridge training, or, using the controls on the bridge to take out TIE fighters. And honestly, I thought that was a little bit cooler than I expected. I don't know what I expected, but I thought it was
I think
kind
I
of
was expecting like Smuggler's Run, where it's like hit the button.
Oh, yeah, and it's kind of like that.
this
But I mean, at
button.
least there's a joystick
You at least-
somewhat.
yeah,
and
you
can-
like move things around.
Yeah, and you
it
can
seemed
see
like
the
we-
little cursor move. And
Yeah, there was more like gamification to it than just like
Yeah.
hit a button
did
when we
feel
tell you
like
to hit a button.
It did look like an old video game. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it looked new, but it had the vibe of an old, simple, like Missile Command type video game where you're just like, doing this kind of thing. And I liked that. I thought that was kind of cool. It actually, to me, feels Star Wars-y because it's like late 70s vibe style of the game.
Right.
I understand why other people would be like, no, that's like, what, we're 2022 by the time this thing opens. Why are we playing that? Why is it so simple? They maybe wanted more.
Yeah.
But I
think-
honestly thought it was cool. I thought that part was cool. I was more stoked for
think
that
it's
than the
really
lightsaber.
Here's the thing though, is like I feel like yes, the people that are going on this are die-hard Star Wars fans, but you have kids going too. You have people that maybe like are friends or family of people that love Star Wars. They're not going to be super into it or super big at like video games or doing a lightsaber. So this is for everybody. So you all get to experience it, but it's going to be not super hardcore. Like you're there more for the story than you are for swinging a lightsaber around. At least that's my thinking.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's what they're really trying to drive. Is it is all story.
It is all
gonna be
story, and it's for everybody that goes.
But it's also merch.
Oh
It is also all the merch. I'm gonna spend as much on merch as I did for the whole cruise. I know it. I just know it. They've showed off some cool
costumes?
stuff. Yes,
Oh
the
my
costumes.
gosh.
All right, we gotta put some costumes up on the screen here. Look at these. Look at these. So left we have a little kid's Leia. I love it.
Cute.
I love it.
Super cute.
Next up is that cloak. Is Padme Amidala's cloak.
Yep.
Now they're gonna let you wear that on the ship. I don't see why they wouldn't. But it is a cloak that hangs pretty low.
And on
I
the
love
ship,
that.
that's fine. It's you can't wear that to Batu is the issue.
Yeah, and they've tried to make that like clear, like, hey, there's distinct set of rules for each. I have a feeling, I'm guessing, no insider information, but I have a feeling they're gonna just be like whatever about it.
I
If
think
you
so,
come
too.
dressed you know, they might hint at it when you get on the transport to leave the ship and go to Batu. But I think they're just going to be like, you know what? Go for it. Florida's been super lax with all the rules anyways.
Well,
So.
the other thing is, Ashley Eckstein did a live video after
That's right.
it was announced that these reporters got to go out, and she mentioned, she was like, everybody thinks you can't show up as like in your Mando costume or all of these things. She's like, throw all that
She
out the
did say
window.
that.
You can.
She
it was like-
specifically said 501st. Like, she was talking about all the big costuming groups. And when you say 501st, we're talking armor. Like, the real stormtrooper, like all of it.
Real uncomfortable stuff to stand around in all day.
I don't know why you would want to lug that around. Because, I mean, a lot of times, the 501st people, they have these big, huge cases
Those
just
big
for all
pellet
their armor
cases.
pieces. Yeah. So I don't know that you'd want to lug that around. Or whatever. But, I mean, she did say that.
Hey, man.
I don't
you're
know that
living
I
out
would
your
hold
Star
her
Wars
to that.
story. Yeah.
That's true.
But you
I
could wear it.
imagine-
If you're not wearing your helmet, it's within
I mean, I'm wearing the full resistance getup. I have to. I bought. Why did I spend so much on that thing if I'm not going to be able to wear it in the parks? You know, like I'm not going to wear it to the park, but I'll wear it around the Starcruiser night one. As hot and uncomfortable as that might be, I'm going to do it.
It doesn't matter. Comfort is
Yeah,
throw
that's
comfort
secondary.
out the window for this
That's
too.
secondary on this. All right, let's take a look back at the clothes. So there's that. It's almost like a Jedi robe, like a gray Jedi robe, but not.
Yeah.
It's interesting looking. I will probably get that and never wear it.
Yeah. I'm probably
I do
gonna
like
buy the
it, though.
cloak.
I do like it. And then next to that is the little kid mechanic. Now this
Little
I really
mini
wish.
Sammy.
I really wish I could get one of these. I'm gonna
Would you
probably
wear
just
it?
make one. Yeah, I would wear it in videos. I would wear it here in my office. I wouldn't wear it
Okay,
anywhere
that's
else.
fair.
But I would probably, yeah, if I get like a Dickies blue jumpsuit, and I could probably do that myself fairly
You
easily.
could make it.
Yeah, the
I'll
captain one
embroider it
though.
for you.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
The captain's one looks good though. That's the one I
Yeah.
actually want. I don't think I would wear it either, but like I like it. I love the details on there. The shoulder, just the piece over the shoulders, that white.
Yes.
And then the orange logo pops really well, and
Those
just
are good colors.
the tails on the front, like the coat tails or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
it looks good. And the hat, I wonder how much that's going to be. I'm guessing that's like a $300 costume.
No
With-
way.
$250?
For a kid's costume?
It's got to be in the 200 range.
$129.99.
You think so? All right, we
Hat
will
separate.
see.
Hat
We'll
separate.
come back to this. Oh, hat separate.
Okay.
Okay.
Write
Then
this
how much
down.
For the hat?
We're
How much
gonna
for the
as
hat?
soon as we get there, we're $49.99. We're still under 200.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Interesting.
First thing
We
we,
are
do
go-
when we get there, we go
This
to
is
the
what we
gift
should
shop.
do.
with,
We
like,
should
our
do
list.
before, like a week or two before we go. Once we have a better idea of all the other merch and stuff, we should sit down and do a Price is Right type thing. I did it for
should.
Galaxy's Edge. And I came on and I said, look, this is what we know. These are the items. This is what I think they're going to cost. And it's fun to play that. And then when we get to the actual thing, we can see what the prices really are. But
would
next,
be
we've got this
hilarious.
dress.
Oh
We
my
got this.
gosh.
So this dress, I've heard, I think Carly Wiesel on her podcast was saying, this dress is like one of the big fancy items. They're really like, they think a lot of people are going to end up buying this.
I'm gonna buy 5 of them so I can wear them every day, and just I'll just do laundry every 5th day. I will wear
So-
that dress every single day. Look at
But
it.
did you heard that it was like modular, right? Like you can, that
Yes.
sash portion can be moved and positioned in different ways to achieve different looks.
Like those
That's
little,
cool.
like barrette brooch things that are on the shoulders. Those are to
Yeah.
help to make it whatever way you want it. So you have the cloak or the hood, and then you can take that off. You can probably like sling it over a shoulder. Oh my god! Like that's it. That's all I'm gonna wear. I'm not even bothering with costumes. I'm just gonna buy that. It's
That's awesome.
gorgeous.
Okay,
Ugh,
so then how much do you think that's going to be?
it's gonna be so much money. You know what? I don't know, because it's really not that in terms
not-
of like the
Yeah, it's
labor
not super
involved with it.
complicated or anything.
Yeah, but it does have like the nice accessories. It's got the belt.
The belt, yeah. I'm sure that necklace is sold
$150.
separately. $150?
No. But if they can sell a Spirit jersey for $80 now, then
Oof.
that dress has to be $200.
You think? Yeah, I was thinking like 180.
Yeah.
Like 179 or something like that.
All right. I've got to do some research if we're going to do this Price is Right style.
All right, next up we have this green jacket. Now, I'm blanking on it right now, but they did mention in one of the articles I was looking at that this jacket is a replica from something seen in the movie. I don't know if it was Canto Bight or what, but that thing on his arm, that little gold cuff on the arm there, is apparently like they 3D scanned it and replicated it for this jacket. And I'm guessing
I
that
think
shirt's
it's from
probably
the
something...
originals.
Is it? It's like an original trilogy piece? I was thinking maybe it was like someone at the bar on Coruscant from like
maybe
Attack of the Clones or something like that. But either way, I think that's a cool looking jacket. I don't know that I would get that, but I am a sucker for jackets. I always end up buying jackets, which is hilarious because in Las Vegas where I live, there's like maybe 2 weeks of the year that I can even wear a jacket and not die.
Oh my gosh. I like that. I would buy that jacket.
I like it.
It's
a cool looking jacket, and I like that shirt underneath too. The kind of grayish brown, but the greens. That's just got
that
a cool
one's
look
cool
to it.
because it's like a disbound type of shirt.
Yeah.
Like it's not full costume, but it's
but it's definitely Star Wars-y.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, the big piece. Are we ready?
Oh, of course. The Togruta headpiece on that kid. Now they have these for adults and kids.
Yes.
But in this picture, it's just on the kid. And that looks to be the Jedi training. I think they mentioned it's like the same thing the Jedi trainers wear, which is in line with all the kids' costumes. If you notice, they're all something you would see an adult wear on the ship that's like a cast member. Maybe not Leia, but it is a direct Leia costume. While all the adult stuff is kind of new, unique, is not a specific character. Except for the Padme cloak. That is definitely Padme's cloak. But I feel like it's not a full costume. It's just one piece. So back to the kid, though. I believe that's the Jedi training outfit or the lightsaber training outfit that the cast members will be wearing. But it's a kid size, and that lightsaber on there is the thing that's intriguing me the most. Definitely looks plastic, so it's a kid's toy lightsaber. But I'm a big nerd for kids' toy lightsabers, so I'm curious what that is. Oh yeah. But I think that's really cool. I'm sure they're going to sell all those pieces and everything. But I'm guessing, it's going to be another like $70, $80 costume for a kid there.
Yeah,
and I think we've got...
Right.
Is there another piece of clothing here? Here we go.
Yep.
Yeah, the plain stuff. Now, they called this the logo line, I think is what they mentioned it. It's interesting looking.
Like specific to the Star Line.
Yeah, so they all either have like the logo. So on the bottom left... I don't know if that's supposed to be a boy or a girl or what. The shoulders look kind of interesting on that shirt because it's not like short sleeve. It's almost like I don't know. I don't know what cut that is.
Or
Something's weird on there. But I do like the idea of that shirt where it's all the white logo and then it transitions into red by the other corner. Mm-hmm. That is a pretty cool look.
I like the backpack.
Got a lanyard? Yeah, the backpack looks cool. I'm gonna need that backpack. Now the shoes. One thing in the panel, he said from head to toe.
Yeah.
He briefly just said, "Yep," from head to toe when he was talking to Ashley Eckstein about the head tails. So I don't imagine those shoes are going to be for sale. But if he says head to toe, I would imagine maybe they sell pants or something too, because that's a hard part for people is finding the right Star Wars pants. And I don't see anything
stretchy pants or something.
Yeah. After all the blue milk kits, it's going to need to be stretchy pants.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. There's nothing pants on this. Yeah, they're all just black, nondescript, nothing fancy. So it's really just about the tops and these accessories. The jacket on the left, I think that's a cool looking jacket. I like the collar, and I like the way that comes down in the middle. And it's, that seems like I could wear that. It seems light, which is good, but it seems like you could just wear that around throughout the year and be like, oh, it's just kind of a futury looking jacket, but it's not out of place. Right. You wouldn't be like, oh, that guy's just walking around the store in a costume. No, that seems like that would actually be something you could functionally wear every day. Same with the guy's t-shirt, but it's very simple. It's very plain. There's nothing really to that screams have to have it. It's fine.
See, and I like it. That's my favorite piece.
No, I like it too. It's cool, but I don't know. It's definitely plain, right? It's just a basic t-shirt with the logo. Even the kids one underneath it, the light colored shirt, I like the offset logo. I like that it's kind of on half of the body. That's a little bit different. And if you look the cut on the bottom, I don't know if it's because of the lightsaber or if the shirt's cut to be diagonal down the front.
It seems like that's because of the lightsaber.
Is it?
But
That'd be kind of cool
maybe.
if they did something different, though. You know, that's what
That's
I
true.
like about the Galaxy's Edge stuff. Is sometimes the seams in the shoulders are cut weird and split. There's these little things they do to the clothing to make them not normal. So it's
Yep.
not just a regular T-shirt. It's got something slightly off or different. And I'm guessing these might have something similar. Like that hat doesn't look like just a regular snapback. I'm not sure what
No.
that is on the top, but there's some kind of Chandrila Starline logo or something on there. So, yeah, I think that stuff looks pretty cool. All right, next up, what do we got here? We looked at clothing. What about the
The
jewelry?
merch. Oh my gosh.
The jewelry.
Those
All right, let me
earrings. I
pull
need
up-
those earrings. Look at them. Ugh.
Yeah, those are cool. And they mentioned again that they're like modular. You can change them or you can do something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they mentioned that in the panel briefly, that you can wear them different ways. And I think he was specifically referring to the necklace. But I'm guessing all of them have something you can maybe change or add a second piece to or something. But I
That's
like the
cool.
incorporation of the logo. I think that's all really, really cool looking.
It's really cool. It's really subtle.
Yeah.
So you can take it to like everyday wear
Yeah.
afterwards. But then
Yeah.
there's also the necklace, which they show in the like costuming pictures. But then also Ashley Eckstein was wearing that in the D23 panel as well, where it's like not a full necklace that comes around. It's like
Let me
a
see if yeah, it's kind of like a half necklace thing. Let
Yeah.
me see if I have a picture of that.
like it's open in the front. It's like a cuff
Of course
type.
I don't. But yeah, that is a really interesting and cool kind of like cuff necklace that she's got on there.
Yeah, it showed it in the costuming pictures where it's like the whole family. The one where she's got it wasn't the cloak. I don't remember which one it was. Anyway, it was really neat.
This
There
is what
it
you're
is.
talking about.
Yeah.
This is what and it's gone forever. What is going on? There, you can kind of see it. It's right
Kind of.
there.
It's
Yeah,
almost like
so-
a snake like wrapped around your neck. And it
Yeah,
doesn't
that is
leave.
interesting. And there's a better look
How
at
do you
that
put that
shirt
on?
too. That men's shirt.
Yeah, that shirt's
Yeah.
cool.
And we can't see it in this picture, but she does have bracelets on. You can barely see it, but it's kind of covered by the angle.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, there's going to be so much cool stuff. What was one of the next things we saw here? Drinkware.
Yes.
Pretty cool. I have to have that goblet thing. It's
Yep.
right out of Solo. That's like directly from Solo on Dryden Voss's ship. They drink out of cups like that. They got the little wine stopper. It's kind of nice. We do drink. We have plenty of wine here, but we don't. I don't think I'll buy that. I don't think my wife will care to have that. She'll be like, that's fine. But the coasters, I want those metal coasters. Those look
Yes.
cool. They actually look
That's
kind of
like
like old ashtrays, but
Right?
they look like 80s ashtrays. But
They're
they
like
still look
leveled
cool. I
up
like 'em.
Oga's coasters.
Oh yeah. So speaking of Oga's Sublight Lounge, they didn't show it, but I'm guessing there will be specific drink mug pairings, like they have at Oga's.
I could see
They've
that,
got
yeah.
to. They've got
have
to.
to.
They've got to.
They have to. We do know that there's special drinks
Yes.
in Sublight
Yeah.
Lounge.
Ooh, we're gonna get into that food in just a second. I think we'll do food after this. So we've looked at the basic line of clothes, looked at the coasters. We talked a little bit about the head tails. And I'm trying to find the one with the adults. Here's a picture. There's the adult wearing the Leku and the head tails. Now I'm guessing they'll have them in different colors, maybe? Because I don't think all the Twi'leks are going to be blue.
Oh, yeah.
You know? In the artwork, they show some that are purple. Gaia's got like a
Gaia's purple.
magenta color. So, yeah. But it is cool they're actually selling them. It's neat. There's going to be like
Yeah.
a Disney, like a premium. I'm guessing they're going to be good quality. Normally stuff like that, when they make it, it is. But yeah, you can get the Tigruta head tails. That's cool. That's so cool to see
I'm
people
gonna
that are just going
spend
to be
so
rocking
much
that.
money.
Are you going to get them? Are you
Yeah, I
planning
have
on...
to. Absolutely.
I was thinking about
Like,
maybe the
without
Leku. I mean, I'd look silly in the head tails, but I think the Leku I could probably do something with.
I have to.
Yeah, it just looks.
We may be a family of 4 rocking
Yes.
it. 'Cause-
Yes. Oh my goodness, that'd be awesome to see all of you.
But I think I don't know if they mentioned that they were going, like, Disney or the Chandrilla Star Line was going to do it, but how do you kind of match wearing the headpiece with, like, makeup? Like,
I
is there
don't
going to be
think
a bikini poppity
anybody's.
in space?
It's not on
I
the
think
floor
somebody
plan
asked the
though.
question. I know. I think somebody asked the question, but I mean, will they bring people into the room if you want to? How are they going to do that?
Yeah, I don't know. Because
I
yeah,
don't know.
those Leku won't make any sense unless you have blue makeup on your face to go with it.
Yeah.
And they have said multiple times face paint is okay.
Yeah.
Like they've gone out of their way to say yes, you'll be able to paint your face. Which what does that mean when we go to Batu? Typically they don't want you to paint your face
No,
according to
face
their
paint's
rules.
okay
Oh, is it?
because,
Like fully?
well, yeah, like if you go to like an Animal Kingdom, you can go and have your
Oh,
face
get your
painted
face done like a
on
Navi, right?
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, then I hope they have like a face painting station or something.
right? They just like airbrush some
That'd be
stuff on
cool.
you. I would
That'd
do
be
it.
cool. Yeah. I would if they. Okay. Yeah. If they have that as an option, and I find some Leku that I like, I'll do it. Just to like record the experience and share with everybody. Like what do they do with facial hair?
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Am I gonna be washing blue out of my beard for? It's gonna dye it. All the gray is gonna turn just blue.
Oh my gosh.
That'll be
You're
hilarious.
gonna be instead of a blue-haired lady, you're a blue-bearded
Go
guy.
back to work the next week and be like, oh, okay, well. All right, so I think that kind of covers most of the merch. I think there was one item. It was a model of the ship that I did want to show you guys. But I don't know if I've got it here pulled up.
I kind of
Either
want
way,
that.
I want it too. And it's working
How
with
big
lights.
is it? Is it
I'm
really?
guessing it's going to be like that. It's going to be something like that. My guess. I don't know for sure.
I was thinking.
You think bigger? It might be that big. I don't know. We didn't see it next to a
A lot
hand
of
or anything to
detail.
scale.
No.
There's a lot of detail. You're right.
I kind of want it,
It
though.
actually lights up. You can see the little rooms. I mean, that's a great keepsake. Like, I'm gonna want to remember my time on the ship. By looking at
Exactly.
but it's gonna take up more room on my already cluttered desk. But that's fine. I want it here next to me. Like, I'll put it next to my bed too. I'll just carry it around the house.
Just like sleep with a hand on it.
All right, so that covers all of the merch. Now let's talk about food. I'm gonna let you take this one.
Okay, so what we knew so far was blue shrimp, right? That was the big thing that we saw and we talked about. Now we've learned that purple dish thing that we saw was Mustafar bread service.
Yes.
It is going to be served with, I'm so excited to say this, blue bantha butter.
Blue bantha butter.
Butter made from blue milk. Can you imagine? I'm gonna have to bring a cooler.
just
like,
sneak little
sneak it
balls of
home.
blue butter in your pocket.
Yeah, I absolutely. I am going to find a way. So I'm sorry if you're listening to this and you work on the Star Line. I'm probably going to sneak butter home.
We're gonna have to ask for extra. Be like, just
we are.
Can I just have a plate with butter on it, please? A bowl.
Yeah, please. Just a tub. However you guys receive it, just bring that to me. So yes, we're gonna have bread service. We're going to have, I believe there's like a salmon, like a brined type salmon, a ceviche dish. There's going to be
in this picture you can see the salmon on the top. It's like a blackened salmon. Yeah.
That's the salmon. You can see some like bao buns. The flatbread in the front left. I believe up in the top corner, I think that's actually a dessert, and I think that's the yuzu lemon cheesecake that they mentioned when the reporters got to go visit. I think that's what that is.
It looks very similar to a dessert they had at Galaxy's Edge around the opening. I think it was called a Batu Bon or something like that, or Oi Puff, one of those. But it was that same green kind of crumble was on that, and that's what makes me really think that was a dessert.
Well, and I think they said it's like a matcha yuzu lemon type thing, so I think that's what that is. The thing I'm most excited about, because I am not a very picky eater, but I am a picky eater. The bubble bread is actually grilled cheese.
Yeah,
so
that looks
those
cool.
little bubbles are filled with cheese, and that is tomato soup to go with it.
And so this is lunch. This is like a lunch option, right?
This is a lunch option, and here's what's interesting to me. When are we eating lunch on the ship?
That's true. It might be under light refreshments when we arrive.
Maybe, but we arrive between 1 and 4 the first day, and then we have a sit-down dinner, like a table service dinner. You wake up the next morning, you go eat breakfast, and it's going to be a buffet style like this, which we'll talk about in a second. And then you go to Batu, and you're there until probably 2 o'clock or so.
Yeah, and they give you a voucher for lunch while you're there.
Exactly. So they do not anticipate you eating lunch on the ship. Then you have dinner that night, which is, again, a table service. And then you eat breakfast the next morning and you leave. So when do we get to eat this? Is this also going to be served at dinner? Breakfast? Are we eating grilled cheese at breakfast?
Yeah, grilled cheese isn't really a breakfast thing.
I'll make it a breakfast thing. Don't worry. But yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
but
they have to keep it as an option for lunch. Because I'm guessing some people who've been to Galaxy's Edge and maybe don't want to do the story are going to stay on the ship.
But they said in the panel that it's going to be like a scavenger hunt that you are on while you are on Batu.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But here's the interesting thing about breakfast and lunch is going to be served buffet style. However, they are going to have individual plates like this. So you see each of those dishes is on an individual plate. So you'll walk up, you'll say, I want that, that, and that, and they will put that on your
little
serving tray. I want that tray too.
I want that tray also. I need that tray. It looks so cool.
I know.
But I
don't
wonder what the other dishes are.
Things, but I really hope that you guys sell these things for me to buy.
Yeah. Yes. And I just wonder what else they have. And also, can I go back and get seconds? Like, is it going to be like a cruise?
It's a buffet.
Right, it's a buffet. So I'll be able to, because I want to try everything to share with the
cool
audience.
Thing.
You know, like I want everybody to know ahead of time. Hey, this is what I thought was good, and why. But I want to be able to say I tried everything. And same thing with dinner. On a cruise, if you want to try both, like a Disney cruise specifically, they'll give you entree options, but you can tell them, hey, I want both. And they'll accommodate. They'll take care of you.
Yep.
So I'm wondering if this is going to be something similar where it's like, well, they'll have a chicken, a beef, and a seafood option or something, you know, whatever their galactic versions of those are. I kind of want to tell them, no, I want everything.
Yes.
And it will not go to waste. I will eat all. I'll be dying afterwards, but
I think that's what's really cool about them doing the buffet style for breakfast and lunch is that you do have the option to try every single thing if you want to.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Hopefully they do that with dinner too. Because you are paying a lot for the experience, so I'm sure they want you to experience as much as you possibly can.
And it's really cool that they have like grilled cheese. Something as simple as grilled cheese and tomato soup. And it just looks fancy. They found a way to make it look cool.
It looks so cool.
Yeah.
So they have mentioned it again and again that if you do not want to eat those types of foods, you do not have to. So
they look so good.
Rest assured, if you are too picky of an eater for even like the bubble grilled cheese, you're okay. Like they will have options for you, whether you see it on the menu or not. You're going to be able to get strips. One of the other things that's not shown here, but there is another picture of it floating around, is they have these they're called shoe buns, and they're filled with curried chicken, and they're different colors. There's one that's like yellow. I think there's one that's like maybe green and one that's purple, and they are just like things you can just like grab and go. And they have different sauces. You can dip them in if you want to.
On that photo is it's like a little box like with 3 shelves, and the buns are on one, and there's like just loose salad and some tongs in the other one.
Looks like a relish or something.
Yeah, almost like a coleslaw or something. And then dipping sauces next to that. So I wonder, does that just get presented to the table? Because it did mention that appetizers are going to be served like for the table. So I wonder, is that an appetizer we're looking at? That they bring that out and they're like, here's 4 of these things, try them. I wonder how that's going to work with dietary restrictions for some in the group, like someone who can't eat all this stuff. And do they just get something special, or do we all get something special? Can we request both?
No, you'll get both. So when I've traveled before with people that have dietary restrictions, and we've gone to like Ohana at Polynesian Resort, they bring out like fruit and all kinds of stuff, but the person we were with couldn't eat pineapple. So they brought a separate thing of fruit that didn't have pineapple just for that person, and then they brought out the regular stuff for the rest of us. So they will absolutely accommodate you. But
cool.
But the whole table doesn't have to like take part in those dietary restrictions.
Yeah, gotcha. That's cool. Now, do we have anything else on food that we learned? I know we learned a little bit about a cocktail, I think.
Yes, there were 2 drinks. There was one that was non-alcoholic that
Mhm.
I believe is served with like a dried pineapple ring, from if what I remember
That's right.
hearing correctly.
That's right.
And it was like they said it was, I forget what it was, like fresh squeezed, some kind of like fruit, like moushu
Yeah,
fruit
they
or
wouldn't
something.
tell them what it was. They were like, "What's in this?" And they gave him some weird, like, "Oh, it's some made up fruit name."
It's
It's like,
blue
okay,
bantha milk. You're like,
yeah,
no.
yeah.
And then there was another one that was a cocktail that I believe was served, like all the rage right now is the cotton candy cocktails, right? Or the
Oh, yeah,
spun sugar, right? And
yeah.
so I think that's what this one was. I don't
Okay.
remember the flavor profile on that one, but I'm gonna
So,
drink them all. It doesn't
oh
matter
yeah,
what.
oh yeah, definitely, definitely.
You have to try
So
it.
I went over on the Nerdist site. They've got in their article, and I'm going to link to these articles down in the comments below and in the description, so you guys can read through them. But they talk about these dishes, and they say the colorful salad with couscous, Romanesco
Oh,
broccoli, which is cool. Like, and if you've ever seen Romanesco, it's a really, really neat looking cauliflower or broccoli in this case. And olives accompanied a tart ceviche. That's what you're saying, the ceviche dish with corn nuts. Corn nuts are in the in space.
what? Did it really say corn?
Yeah, it says with corn nuts.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, you can't destroy those things. Carrot pieces shaped into spheres, so they're gonna do weird cuts and
Yeah.
kind of calamari and squid. That sounds
Oh, yeah.
awesome. Yeah, the ube focaccia is of the purple bread that this person says they thought it was dessert. So ube,
Yeah.
it's like a popular Filipino kind of dish. They'll have like ice cream, like ube ice cream. It's like very purple. It's got a good sweet taste to it. So that bread sounds interesting. They do mention, of course, the bantha milk butter, like you said.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I know it's so cool. It's so cool. Bubble waffle grilled cheese. We got that. Oh, so there is something they said. They said bonito flakes. It's like a seaweed.
Yeah.
Or it says
On the
like a fish
salmon.
flake. Yeah, but it moves. Like I've seen that on something that like the little, it's like a large flake that like sits on the
No.
plate, but it moves.
No, I'm
Like
sorry. I don't like my food to move. I would like my food to be very still before I eat it.
But I mean, it's just like a layer. It's like a paper thin layer, but
So
it will
probably it
move
just like reacts to the moisture or
to
something
and
and
the
like
heat
curls
or
up.
something. Have you ever like had one of those fortune teller fish? And it's a kid's toy thing they had at like arcades where I would get them. And it's this little like cellophane red shaped fish, and it would be like, okay, put it in your hand, and whatever it does tells you your fortune. If it curls up real tight, it means we're gonna have bad luck, or just whatever. It was kind of like that, but it was reactive to the heat in your hand.
Huh.
And so if you had hot hands, it would curl up really tight. If your hands were cold, it would kind of just like flex a little bit. But I think this works very similar to that. This
I mean, it's a
bonito.
cool concept.
Yeah, it's. I mean,
Yeah.
that's such a cool idea. You bring out
It
your
is.
plate and it's just like moving still.
We have like Mexican jumping beans.
People are
on the
going to be
table.
freaked out by that. People are going to be so freaked out by that. What else they said? A patachoux. I'm not sure what a patachoux is.
That's the
filled with-
bun. The little
That's the buns.
curried
Okay.
chicken bun.
The curried. Yeah. Okay. And you mentioned the yuzu chantilly cream. Man. One beverage. They say one beverage. A Hoth Frost came with spun sugar ice over the top. That's cool. It's gonna be a Hoth themed drink.
It's gonna be
And
cool.
lemon foam? Oh man, that sounds awesome. Now this one didn't go into the alcoholic beverage. No one really did. Out of everyone I listened to,
No.
they said they tried one, but then no one really like described it all that well. So hopefully we'll get
Yeah.
more coming in the next couple weeks. I don't know that we're gonna get any specific drops of news. Because we knew this was coming. We knew the D23 thing was
Right.
going to happen, so we expected this weekend we'd get some news. But between now and I want to say January, February is when they're going to be doing a lot of the cast member previews. During the panel, they mentioned that there's a lot of Make-A-Wish kids that their wish is to go on the Galactic Starcruiser, and they're going to go early. They're going to go during February, January, and that's really cool. They get to do that.
Dude, I like cried when they were talking about that. Like I want to get like I'm getting teary-eyed right now just thinking about it. Like how cool is that they are fulfilling
Yeah.
those wishes, and that those kids get to go on them before anybody else. Oh
yeah.
my god!
Yeah, that is cool.
Like
That's
what
really
a
cool.
company Disney is to do that for those
Yeah.
kids.
But I don't think we're getting anything else. Oh, the other group that's going in February, January are contest winners.
Yes.
There's been a lot of contests coming up. StarWars.com has one. D23 had one. Where they're giving away Galactic Starcruiser trips. So I keep trying to enter. Because if I can go a month early, that'd be cool. I'd probably just like 2 weeks early. But whatever.
Yeah, it's just like
I'll
2
go.
weeks early.
That'd
still,
be
why not,
awesome. I
right?
would love to go early. Because then I get to play twice. I could do,
Yeah.
one way and do the other. But yeah, I'm excited. I just don't know when we're going to get more news. I'm sure there's going to be a slow trickle. If you guys at home are trying to like keep up on this stuff, Disney Parks Twitter is going to be one of the first sources. Disney Parks blog will post stuff to StarWars.com. The Star Wars show with Kristen Baver. I want to say every Thursday or every other Thursday, something like that. She'll probably be dropping some stuff on there too whenever it comes out. So yeah, pay attention to all those sites. Follow me on Twitter. I'm going to be retweeting everything. So the Dano channel on Twitter or on Instagram at Dano Flores. Sarah, where can people find you?
I am on Instagram and TikTok at Sarah J Mac. Very easy to find me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And again, I like to just reiterate to anybody who is looking for Starcruiser booking info. This is the What am I pointing? This is the
Where am I?
Starcruiser expert. It's weird because on my screen you're on that side, but here we're pointing there.
Ooh, can we do a high five? No, wait, that's the wrong way.
See, it's weird. There you go.
There it is.
But you can book Starcruiser vacations through Carry On the Magic Vacation or Carry On the Magic Travel. I forget which one.
Vacations. Yeah, Carry On the Magic Vacations. So yes, I can absolutely help you book your voyage to the Starcruiser. It is absolutely free to use my services. And I will nerd out and talk Star Wars with you. And I will happily do so. So I've helped a lot of your fans from your channel actually book their Starcruiser voyages.
That's
and now
awesome. That's so
we
cool to
are
hear
going
that.
through. It's so cool. Oh my gosh.
And you know, like
And-
I know that because when I was in Galaxy's Edge, people that would stop me and talk to me about the channel and stuff, you did get brought up a few times. People would be like, "Oh yeah, and all your Starcruiser stuff looks really exciting." Because I know a lot of people who watch these are getting excited to live vicariously through me when I make these videos, and so through that they've gotten to know you, and it's kind of cool to see that like everybody, they're excited for all of us. So
That's so cool.
yeah,
It's super neat. But yeah, we're booking Starcruiser still. And then we're also booking like add-on trips for when you do go over, like if you're not local to Florida, they treat it like a cruise. They say, please be in the area the night before. Because if something were to happen with your flight or if you're driving and you break down or something, they're like, be in the area the night before. And some people are just extending it out to like a whole vacation.
I still need to figure out what I'm doing, especially because we're coming on the 90-day deadline here. I need to figure out what I'm doing afterwards. Very soon. The first week of December. We're like 3 weeks out. And then we are just 90 days away from our Galactic Starcruiser trip.
Locked
Isn't that crazy? And then December is going to fly by.
Yep.
It's going to be gone. And January is probably going to be a blur too. And February, shortest month. It's like we're there already.
We're going next week.
We're already there. All right, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. We hope you are as excited about the Galactic Starcruiser as we are. But that's it for now. Until next time, don't be a moof milker. Be the spark.